Here we are coming to you live, and the question of the night, the unit. Are they united still, or are they not? We found out at the countdown, and it's countdown time to Ring Respect Radio. Hey, hold on to your hats, because we're about to go live. Here's the opening video, and we'll see you in a minute. And boom, just like that, it is Thursday night, and you know what that means, because if you've been here before, you know it's party time with us. We're the Video Bros. I'm Bobby Munson, and the man right beside me, he's the man with the angelic voice. He is Papa Smokes. Papa Smokes, happy Thursday. How you doing, brother?
Woo, happy Thursday. You know it's Thursday when we're going live with Ring Respect Radio over here on Ole Podcast. Munson, I'm pumped. I'm glad to be here. It's raining outside, but it's sunny in my heart because we're doing some more reviews of independent wrestling.
That's right. We're going to warm your hearts up, and we're going to be joined by our guest here tonight, Ed, who joined us last week to talk about the chaotic countdown and what to expect from it. Well, we saw it pop smokes, and it's going down. We're going to be talking about that here tonight as Ed comes in to join us. And while he does that, Ed, welcome to the show. We'll get the alignment of the cameras lined up here better or something like that. Maybe something along those lines. That looks pretty. All right. But yes, I also wanted to mention, Papa Smokes, we were talking a little bit about this before we went live. But in 1 week's time, Papa Smokes, Prairie Pro Wrestling, 3 different opportunities to catch us live if you're in the Saskatoon area. Friday night, July the 25th, you can head on down to Beer Wars. Tickets on sale over at Beer Wars YXE. They are handling the ticket sales. It is their show. Prairie Pro Wrestling has been hired, and we will be putting on a show. The event starts at 8 p.m. The 6 p.m. doors open to Beer Wars. Then it goes till about, I think, 11 o'clock is the cutoff for Beer Wars. So I believe, I can't say for sure how long that PPW show goes, but it'll be awesome. And if that's not quite enough, the next afternoon, 4:30 p.m., if you happen to be a baseball fan, head down to check out the Saskatoon Berries baseball team, where Prairie Pro Wrestling is going to be doing a 1-hour opening event at the Saskatoon Berries baseball game. And then after that, we're going to strip that ring back down. We're going to roll everything back up, and we're going to stick that SOB into the trailer, head on back over to Beer Wars for a second Beer Wars show. That's 3 opportunities, 2 Beer Wars shows, all in one weekend, July 25th and 26th. And now that I've rambled on enough, Ed, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. I just need to know, though, is my man, my favorite professional wrestler, El Assassino, in any championship matches on any of those 3 shows?
Well, I can't guarantee who is all going to be at the shows other than who is shown.
Look at this, Papa Smokes. Look at this Munson covering his bases before we even get started.
Look, I'm a businessman. I'm a businessman.
Surprise.
We were hired by these groups. So the Saskatoon Berries have announced that El Assassino will be present at that event. And so will Riley Cruz and Marvelous Morris Waltz. So I'd imagine all 3 of them will be involved both on the 25th and the 26th at Beer Wars as well, too. I don't know if championships will be on the line. I don't know what matchups are going to happen. I have 0 information. In fact, I only just found out what time the shows start, to be honest, Ed. So I don't know nothing. Whether El Assassino gets his shot at a belt, couldn't tell you. What I can tell you is this guy right here is always going to be supporting BPW wherever we go. It's Basser in the house joining us. Yes, Bass. I hope you're going to try to make it out to at least one of those events. It's going to be a fun time. Yeah, I wouldn't want you to get behind on any of the PPW action, even though you could always catch up on the YouTube side.
But he'll have Little Bats with him for the afternoon show, of course.
Well, I mean, that's a different story. You still have to buy a ticket to the baseball game to watch the afternoon show.
Yeah, he'll be the first guy in line to get into the Berries game.
But it's going to be a great opportunity. Thank you to Beer Wars YXE as well as the Saskatoon Berries for reaching out and bringing the all of us here at Prairie Pro Wrestling there for the events coming up next weekend. It's going to be fun. I'm actually going to move Ed up slightly because,
Gotta love sold shows, don't you, Munson?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have to worry about the seating on this one. I don't have to do the tickets or the seats or showing up to set seats up and put names on them or anything. Not that I don't love doing that for you all in the PPW Nation. I'm just saying it's nice to have a summer breather from it.
Hear this? Excuses for
Yes.
Munson.
So overworked.
Poor Munson. He doesn't even hold the camera anymore. That's how overworked he is. He can't even hold the camera no more.
Yeah, tell me about it. I tried to retire last year. Now he's the one sitting and I'm still doing camera work.
Poor Papa Smokes is still holding this incredibly heavy camera. And the young Munson's like, no, I'm too good for that. Hold on.
I did not make that choice. It was management that told me not to hold the camera anymore. It was. I have no play in this whatsoever. None. Zero.
Is this the same management that doesn't give El Asesino his rightful championship matches?
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
I mean, look at they're holding me back from the camera work too. So
Oh yes, they're holding him back. It's like a professional wrestling fight where you got J&J security holding back Seth Rollins.
just saying. I have no authority around there. I just come to do my job and shake some hands and make friendly with the PPW Nation. I'm that face that cheers people up, but
Basser
I'm not
doesn't even
in
buy
control.
this shit. Basser's not even defending you. He doesn't even buy this bullshit.
Bass is staying out of it. He's staying neutral. He doesn't want to upset the crowd.
He knows.
All right. Basser doesn't like to upset people. Let's ask the PPW wrestlers if Basser likes to try to upset people or not.
I think Bass tries to make them laugh more.
That.
I think Bass is usually trying to make them laugh more than anything, if you ask me.
I need to get the three of you guys to a chaotic show at some point. That's on my checklist.
Yes.
You Smokes and Bass are all down here to New England.
Hell yeah.
It's weird to live so northeast of in the United States of America and ever say anything that starts a sentence with "get people down here."
Yeah.
Because down is not the direction that we normally talk about when we're referring to coming to New England.
Bass stopped drinking, so he claims he's a lot nicer. No, I mean, he did stop drinking, but he's still loud. He's still having a good time, and he's teaching good lessons to little Bass about how to be a fun wrestling fan in the front row of a wrestling show.
That's all that's important.
That is true. Yeah.
That's why we love Basser and we hate Munson.
What's with all you two are causing all this problem. I go to those shows and I walk in and people are there. They know me by name. They're shaking my hand. They like me. I don't know why all this hate when I come on.
That's
this
because
show
they don't
here.
deal with you on a weekly basis like the two of us do.
Well, you know who else seems to like me? Brett Martinez here likes me over from the OVW crowd. Sorry I didn't stick around to chat too long tonight, Brett. I had a few things I had to get wrapped up before we went live here, and we did some PPW calling, but hopefully you enjoyed OVW this evening. They've been doing some pretty good stuff over there, really liking a lot of the crowd, so it's been fantastic. And hello, Brian Carter.
All right.
What's this Hollywood Bobby Munson stuff? I'm nowhere near the Hollywood Hills, not at all.
Are we stealing Aston's gimmick here? Has she given up the Hollywood nickname?
No. There's no Hollywood about it. The 280 people in attendance at a PPW show seem to like me. That's about as far as my popularity goes.
Munson, you've got that baby face energy, but Papa Smokes has the heel flavor.
Yeah. It seems to work for us. I mean, it seems to work. See, Ed, if you lived here and you came to a PPW show and had no prior knowledge to me online, you too, like the PPW Nation, would be a big Bobby Munson fan. I'm telling you right
No, I would always be a Papa Smokes fan. My favorite wrestler growing up is 1990 Shawn Michaels. Do you really think Munson is going to be my flavor of professional wrestling person at PPW?
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
93 Shawn Michaels. Like, this is the epitome of douchebag Shawn Michaels. Like, come on.
And he still couldn't
Big
hold a
fat
candle.
Munson.
And he still couldn't hold a candle to Bret Hart.
All right, Papa Smokes, me and you are going to talk about chaotic wrestling tonight. We've gotten rid of the troublemaker here.
All right. No, Ed's trying to move stuff on the screen here on me. Look at this, banning me from my own show. The Manglers in the house. Have the heel flavor. Oh, you gotta have good heels in order to have good baby faces. And we had a lot of good heels and baby faces right across the card when it came to Chaotic's Countdown event. Ed, before we get started on the matchups, I know I usually give this opportunity to Papa Smokes, but you know the lay of the land a little bit more down there. So let us know about where this one took place.
This one took place from a relatively new venue. We've seen it once before. This is the same venue where they held Cold Fury. This is the Collegiate Charter School over in Lowell, Massachusetts. This is my first time in the building. Loved it. Parking was a bit of a problem because they have a soccer they have a soccer field attached to it, and it has its own it uses the same parking lot, but they had a thing going on, so they had that whole parking lot was full of cars from that and from the parents waiting for them to get out. So unfortunately, the wrestling crowd had a much smaller parking lot to work with. So I had to circle the building 4 or 5 times before I could get a parking spot to get in the building. But
it's dedication.
Wonderful building. Let's just put it this way. This was the most chaotic wrestling show I've ever been to for a variety of personal reasons, on top of which my seats were accidentally double sold.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
I arrived at the
that
show.
never happens in an indie show. I don't know what you're talking about.
Munson's done that all the time.
I was gonna say I've never expected something like this to happen where they sold 2 of the same ticket. Would never happen. No, these lovely people had 3 seats with proof of purchase of their seating. I had proof of purchase of one of the same seats. So Chaotic Wrestling did a wonderful thing. They found me a fantastically comfortable chair. They sat me right in the corner between 2 different sections. I got to enjoy the show. I didn't get to enjoy the whole show because I did have to, unfortunately, leave a little bit early. But I watched it on the YouTube on the way home, so it was all good.
There you go. So you got to see you right down to the finale of that countdown matchup. We will get to that very shortly, but let's start off by talking about the opening matchup of the night. We're looking at Armani Chaos taking on Ricky Smokes. Yes, Ricky Smokes, of course, the former champion of Chaotic Wrestling, now making his way down to a lot more fanfare, we should say, with his WWE ID now going from Evolve and escalating over to some appearances on the NXT side. Man, this guy is on a rise very, very quickly in the world of professional wrestling. And Armani Chaos, again, this guy is somebody who's on the rise currently in Chaotic Wrestling and has a bright future ahead of him as well, too. This is exactly what we talk about every time. When you're going to open up a matchup on a card, you go with something that's got good high energy. You got good quality wrestlers in there. You got Ricky Smokes. You got Armani Chaos. And they put on one hell of an opening bout between the two of them. I thought it was fantastic. Great way to open the card. Your thoughts first on this one, Pop Smokes, and then we'll find out what it was like there live from Ed.
It was so exciting to see a good, fast-paced, technical match like this go on first. One, an experienced worker, a good heel in the ring. The other, an up-and-coming babyface. Chaos looks awesome. All he needs is another year or 2 of reps. He's going to be really, really good. And we've talked about that opening slot on the card so many times. When you have first-time fans, first-time viewers that come in, the very first match on the card makes an opening impression. You got to show them what's going to be going on for the rest of the night. So put something hot on. You hook those fans right off the bat. That's exactly what this was. And Chaos going over in this match as a more new wrestler to the business, going over Ricky Smokes, huge and something that will elevate Chaos. But it leads me to wonder, seems like Ricky Smokes has been doing some jobs lately. Does that suggest that perhaps he's on his way out? We'll see, but that's the way to treat the business properly, is to always bring up the younger talent.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the WWE ID contract, where he's already contracted WWE via the ID program, where he's already appearing on NXT with the Vanity Project, and they seemingly are doing a very big deal to push him, Brad, Bryce, Jackson, and at least on Evolve, Zeta. They can't manage to get her on NXT yet, but they do manage to push her on Evolve. So we'll take what we can get. They're doing a lot of good work with these guys right now. So I think Ricky Smokes at this point now, he's got the opportunities he needs. And like Papa Smoke says, it's now time to do the business side of the things and to let him go ahead and do some jobs for some talent that helped do the job for him on the way up. A lot of the people he's losing to now are people he's beaten in the past. So he's going ahead and giving that rub back because that's what you do. I love both these guys. I think Armani Chaos, he can do it all. He's really, really good at everything he does. And he's finding himself more and more. The babyface version of Armani Chaos is so nice after having seen for a great long period of time a heel version of Armani Chaos, running with Paris Van Dale at one point, running with the GGC at one point before Arcturus took over. There was a lot of really interesting things going on with Chaos throughout the years. So it's nice to see him getting this opportunity and getting a big win to position himself after the countdown for whatever might come back from this.
You bet. Brian Richard Holiday wasn't booked on the card, so that's always unfortunate for sure. But a lot of great other talent was.
Yeah, I was going to say there was some talent that I didn't even know were booked on this card.
there was a lot of things going on.
I had to do some research on this card after I got done watching
it. So I've got the matches written down here. I don't think I grabbed the segments, and I think that right after this one was where we got our little segment introduction, no, it wasn't. Okay, we went right into the tag match then. Second. Okay, sorry. Just to get this straightened out, then we went into the tag team matchup next. It was the Powers of Influence, DJ Powers and Jose Zamora taking on Catch and Release, Seabass Finn and Sean Vegan Keegan. Again, this is an interesting matchup. We know that Catch and Release seemingly have had some, on and off again, little differences here and there, but always kind of seemingly there for one another. All the time, going in against, the younger, more arrogant, and very interesting combination of DJ Powers and Jose Zamora, the Powers of Influence. Still loving Jose Zamora's gimmick right now with the social media influencer idea, but more so with the videoing himself for Twitch streams. I think that is such a beautiful touch. And I think these two are actually making a pretty good team together so far. I'm liking them as a tag team. I think that they could go places with it. This was a pretty damn good tag team matchup. It was fitting to where it was on the card, and I really enjoyed myself throughout this one. And let's go to you first on this, Ed. I
am in love with everything that is Jose Zamora. He is the greatest douchebag wrestler right now in chaotic wrestling. The influencer gimmick, but again, it's so different from every other version of an influencer in professional wrestling. Like the filming of the matches, the wearing of the microphone, the utilizing it as if he's doing a live stream. It's sensational. I adore everything he's doing, especially so young. He's a very recent graduate within the last year of the New England Pro Wrestling Academy. So to be this far along with character development at this point in his career, remember, he worked the House of Glory Mike Santana show that Mike Santana ran with House of Glory on Puerto Rican weekend, where they brought in a bunch of Latin talent to go ahead and represent Puerto Rico, which is where he's from. Lots of good stuff here. DJ Powers. Oh, the crowd hates DJ Powers, and let's be honest,
Yep.
He hates us too.
Yep.
One poor guy had a sign, and DJ ripped up his sign, and there was a back to the sign, so he didn't even get to show it to Calvin Vermont.
Well, that teaches him. Buy more paper.
Yeah, but the wrestlers are supposed to tear your sign. They're supposed to look at it and yell at you. They're not supposed to tear it.
Well, we've seen it a few times.
Damn that DJ Powers. And what can you say about catch and release? I mean, New Japan Dojo trained talent. They're, mainstays of the Chaotic Wrestling, New England Pro Wrestling Academy. Not so much as students at this point, but as veteran leadership in the locker room, helping some of these young talents to go ahead and go through it. While they're not necessarily instructors, they're there on a day in, day out, week in, week out basis to help these talents grow. And like I said, we've talked numerous times about Seabass Finn being on the Strong Style Evolved card for New Japan Pro Wrestling when they came to the area in November. This match was exactly what we kind of expected it to be. The Powers of Influence get the big win. There's still more problems within catch and release. And again, I alluded to this last month when we were talking about this, is that they're on the cover of all the promotional art going into this show for the next show coming up next weekend. Mm-hmm. So they were on the cover art, especially with, Seabass Finn being the SOB of the 603. We knew he was going to be prominently featured on that card. And after the countdown, we now know why and where he's going to be featured on that card. I love these two guys. They're great, but you can't, as much as you want to hate them, you can't not love the good work of Jose Zamora, the good work of DJ Powers, because, oh God, DJ Powers is so crisp and so clean in that professional wrestling ring. The epitome of a douchebag heel, and he does all the things he needs to do to be hated. I'm hoping he gets to continue it. And I'm also going to throw those Jose Zamora's YouTube channel in the chats so you guys can go ahead and subscribe to this, because Jose Zamora posts clips or full matches of these things that he goes back and does. So you do need to check out the real Jose Zamora. I mean, how many young wrestlers at 22 are doing the kinds of things that he's doing in the wrestling business?
Great question, too. And that was one thing that I was hoping to see, because we've seen Jose in some matches that we've reviewed in the past, and they cut to some of the footage that he's filming from the camera around his neck and such, with some hilarious results, getting his head slammed into the turnbuckle 10 times, and you see the madness of that, of the shot that's getting taken from that. But this match, nothing fancy, a good solid tag team match. I like the psychology of it too, because Jose and DJ's heel energy is just so strong that they weave that into the psychology of the match. And you saw them again and again kind of suffering for their arrogance, their posing to the crowd, their all that arrogance that they have was just working against them. And every time they were building up heat, it was their own heelish mistakes that led to them having to go on the defensive. So nice when the bookers and promoters can kind of make that psychology that works so perfectly with your slimy heels.
It really does. Yeah, so it was a good position on the card. Great way to go about it. Good tag team match. And of course, Powers of Influence, like we said, got that big win. Ed, you'll have to let me know, was next another matchup, or was it our segment?
No, this is our segment of the night.
All right, the floor is yours. I need to hear all about this, especially from a being there aspect.
So it was great. So we go from the ring and we pivot to, in the corner of the room, behind me, so all I have to do is just turn my chair, and I'm looking directly at him, and I'm standing next to this wonderful little child who learned very well from people like Vassar about how to treat people at a wrestling show. But we get the introduction of the 1992 WWF Hall of Famer, Cindy Bacabella. Bacabella's back in chaotic wrestling. I mean, you guys heard him talking about the territories as if we're still in the territory days.
Yep.
The one thing I hate about this, and him and Papa Smokes would be best of friends.
Yeah.
Delusional guys who still think the wrestling business is in the territory system.
Crusty old bastards. Yeah.
And he's a mean one, this one, too.
Oh, yeah. He's a douchebag. Oh, he's a very big douchebag. The planted question askers, definitely, we couldn't hear them in the arena. I don't know if it came across on the YouTube feed at all.
Yeah.
Asking their questions.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second one at first was a little bit rough. The audio didn't come through, and I think it got repeated or something like that. So
yeah. As I yelled at Mr. Bacabella, I told him, "You're doing the John Cena thing wrong, good sir." Because
we would have loved that.
We lost Munson. He did not. I was going to say Munson froze on my side while he was taking a drink. No, he did not like that. Indeed, he did not. He was very angry for me comparing him to John Cena. But no, I love the heel. I'm not going to answer your questions, even though I'm asking you to ask me questions. Even though they're provided by the company to ask said questions to make sure we get the things across. But we inevitably get the introduction of the fact that he's come to Chaotic Wrestling because he has a client. That client is indeed Chaotic Wrestling Hall of Famer, John Hurricane Walters, which is a surprise because he was a good guy, at least until that moment. Then he became a heel, cutting a promo from his apparently beach residence in Florida. Why you would take summer residence outside of New England is beyond me. Like, normally you leave New England when it's winter time, when it's cold. Most New Englanders tend to stay here for the summer because there's the Cape to go to. Again, I've never been there, but I hear wonderful things about Cape Cod and Hyannis and all of the island areas of the state. So it's a bit of a surprise that he, leaves the state for summer, but, hurricane, it is what it is. And he announces that he's going to be taking on whoever wins the countdown at the next show in Nashua. So Cindy Bacabella's new clientele is indeed, unfortunately, not Channing Thomas like I was hoping, because I want to see Channing Thomas in person. I've yet to see a show with Channing Thomas in person. I may have to venture up to Maine to go ahead and see that, but I'm going to make it happen sometime soon. But Hurricane Walters is now partnering with Bacabella. That can't be good for anybody.
Should prove to be interesting, but yeah, it made a lot of impact. You could tell right away, even though it wasn't familiar, it was like, okay, this guy is a big deal to this audience. So as soon as he came on screen to cut that promo, I'm like, okay, this matters. This is impactful to Chaotic Wrestling. So even without the explanation, I knew the importance of what we were seeing.
Yeah, and to continue with that little kid that I mentioned earlier, as this promo kept going on, you remember hearing Bacabella yelling at a young man, "Sir, you should get that finger down." That was the young man next to me flipping off Cindy Bacabella. To which I said, "It's okay, buddy. I've got you," and put my hand in front of his camera so that he could see me flipping off Cindy Bacabella.
Nice.
Yeah. No, it was a good statement. It made an impact. I liked it. Any thoughts on that, Bob Smokes, before we go to the next match?
Yeah, just that I really enjoyed it. This guy takes the managerial role back to the old days, back to the old school managerial style. Kind of he invoked the name of Captain Lou Albano there, and then it gave an obvious comparison Albano was that drunk during most of his wrestling appearances too, but Bacabella was really good. The promo was good. The Mo Howard from the Three Stooges wig he was wearing was quite a nice touch too. Not to mention he's got that heel mustache, and that makes all the difference.
It really does. Plus the shades. They're a nice touch. But speaking of people that, get under your skin and you kind of want to punch in the face, the Panoptic champion, Calvin Dumont, accompanied by Cole Rutherford, is up next. He's going to be defending against Aaron Rourke. First of all, I got to say, as much as I want to punch Calvin Dumont in the face, him and Cole Rutherford is such an excellent pairing. And later on, we're going to find out that Rutherford's not, anything to, ignore kind of thing. Like, this guy is physically in some solid shape. And when he makes his debut there later on in the Battle Royal, holy shit. But this is an interesting pairing. It is funny in all the wrong ways, in a sense that it's like I'm supposed to hate them, yet this is so good. I kind of having a chuckle at the same time situation. The whole carrying that slime ball down to the ring while they sit there and hold up a microphone and do their conversation the whole way down. I like the fact that they're doing that too, coming down, talking on the microphone instead of having music playing. Very IRS in the 1990s type situation without the music, just coming down to annoy the crowd, to cut them down while they're on the microphone. Beautiful touch. But my God, it's every time you're just like, I hope he loses the belt. I don't care who to. I hope that SOB loses the belt. But this is working so very well, not only for the Panoptic Championship, but also for Calvin Dumont. This is a great pairing, and it works. And it makes you just that much more irritated, to the point where it's like, what's it going to take to get the belt off this SOB? Papa Smokes, you first on this one.
For sure. I love the whole entrance. I love that Rutherford carries Calvin out to the ring in his arms. We already laughed at that. And I love that Cole Rutherford's nickname is the Evil Gay. That's quite hilarious to me also.
Aaron Rourke is Evil Gay, just so we're clear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Okay, well, I still like that nickname quite a lot. But yeah, this match was quite good. Started out fast, went 100 miles an hour, did every move that you could think of, but then with the distraction by Rutherford, Calvin retains his belt, much to the dismay of the fans. And ooh, that kid's got a slappable face, man. Just that little smug expression that he's always got. He knows where the ringside cameras are. He flashes that look to them all the time. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's great at it.
And I before Ed goes to here, I just want to say, as well as him now adding to his, on the promo, not only is he the Panoptic champion, but he's also the star of The Walking Dead, Dead City season 2. What is it, episodes 3 and 5 or something like that? Specifically, like, names the episodes that he's in, and he's the star of them. Man, you just want to hit him that much more. But yeah, Ed, what was that like seeing these two in a live capacity?
It was great. I adore everything there is about Aaron Rourke. I think he is the future of this business in a very interesting way. I think he does a very good job of doing the things he does very well while trying to constantly do new and interesting things. He reminds us of like a Goldust who, just won a championship. But he reminds me of like a young Goldust. He's got that attitude with him where he understands what his character is. He understands who he is in and of himself. And he personifies that evil gay persona so well. Me and my compadres that I was surrounded by did have a lot of fun making fun of Mr. Rutherford Hayes. We would continuously chant at him. We told him that he needed to take off his mother's shorts because of the short shorts he was wearing. Because he's too young to have a girlfriend who would own those shorts, so it must be his mother's. We then told him not to take them off now, to please wait till he goes backstage, then take them off.
Well, good.
He kept coming up to us because we would chant that Calvin sucks. And then Calvin would inevitably do something good. And he'd be like, look how great that is. And he'd get like right up in our faces. And it was fantastic. But my favorite part of this whole match is I think I may have been sitting near Calvin Dumont's father. Because there was one older gentleman in the crowd, the second row right next to us, that was very happy, and he texted people that Calvin got the big win. I think I saw Mr. Dumont.
You saw Daddy Money sitting right there is what you're talking about.
I did. The real money bags in independent wrestling, Munson. Not this fake Munson.
So who's the more punchable one here? Is it Calvin Dumont or is it Papa Dumont?
It's still Calvin. Papa Dumont was a wonderful man. I enjoy it. And again, I have no confirmation of whether that was Papa Dumont. All I know is there was an older man who was excited that Dumont won. And, well, why else would anybody else be excited that Dumont won?
It's very, very true. Other than Cole Rutherford, right?
And Calvin clearly hasn't smartened his dad up to the business yet, too. He's telling him, like, I need to win all these matches.
Yeah.
Well, he tells Daddy that he needs the money to pay off the Booker man, Mr. Chase Del Monte, and then he pockets the money so he can pay Cole Rutherford.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's working for him.
Hey, he may have a punchable face, but at least he's smart.
An excited person that somewhat won, probably the legend El Asesino. You know, you show up halfway through the show, SDG, and you start just talking about El Asesino. Had you been here earlier in the show, you would have known we already chatted a little bit about El Asesino, and now we're on to the chaotic stuff. So El Asesino on the back burner, moving forward with chaotic wrestling, and moving on to our next matchup. It is the Unit, Trigger the OG, the New England champion, along with JT Dunn and Danny Miles, the tag team champions, taking on the GGC, Arcturus, Milo Mira, and Rivera. It's Rivera, right? It's
Jerry Rivera.
Yes, okay. Yeah. But yes, this matchup, this was for all the stakes. We know that great, passionate promo that we got last time out that really just added to the importance of this. And again, we sat there. Can the unit actually be united? Was that enough to draw that brotherhood back together? Can the cracks in the GGC be exposed? Well, it really didn't take long to get those answers, so to speak, in this matchup. It didn't take long at all, as the cracks in the GGC were very, very apparent here tonight. And yes, there was some very, very, very big anger between Arcturus and it's Milo Mira there. That is Milo Mira, sorry. It's over. Like it is over between those two. It was only a matter of time, but again, Mira doesn't want to give up the pogo thing. He wants to continue to use it. He's not going to listen to reason. So we will see the fall of him from the GGC moving forward. And we saw the unit united, as the headline talks about. Could they be united? Yes, they were on this very night, very united, and they did an awesome job. This is a banger of a match. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to go to you first, Pop Smokes, and then we're going to get our live correspondent to tell us what it was like.
No, I also enjoyed this match a whole bunch, and the unit showed that they're a bunch of veterans, a bunch of guys that have worked together before many, many times, and they looked just like they were advertised. And it must have been a thrill for the fans to see these guys together after all these years. And Miles and JT Dunn are already the tag team champs of Chaotic, so you know there's cohesion going on there. It was just whether the three of them could get through this match, and they did very nicely. And the GGC, God's greatest creation, cracks all through the foundation of that, starting to crumble, no question, when Arcturus is trying to deny the fans their favorite pogo stick spot. They're going to get up in arms about that too. So this is stuff moving some of their angles forward a little bit, but we also have the feeling during this show that all these people might meet in the chaotic countdown main event as well. So not even finished for the evening, perhaps.
And Ed.
Yeah, this was my main event of the night, because this is where after this I had to go ahead and leave. But no, this was a fantastic match. The Unit are such a good team when they're on the same page, and they were. The GGC is made up of 3 incredibly talented people. I mean, Jeriel Rivera is indeed God's greatest creation. I mean, that body is sensational. Milo Mira is so charismatic while being a heel, even in his heel portions. Like he breaks out and he does the babyface stuff every day with the pogo stick, but he's so good at being a bad guy and also so good at being a good guy from all the things I've seen from other promotions that he's involved in. Octarus is just that great veteran that every professional wrestling promotion needs to have. He helps run the training school. He helps make sure younger talent get over. He's always doing what needs to be done. And on top of it, he's just one big SOB.
Oh, yeah.
Like JT even said that, he thought he might have broken his elbow the show before when he hit Death by Elbow on Octarus and knocked him down. The only thing that I didn't like about this match, and I have good news about this now, was the injury to Danny Miles. If you watch the match, you notice after they do the double team, the double team move, the pledge, Danny disappears from the match. Yeah. Danny rolls to the apron. I don't know how much of this is caught on camera. He then rolls to the floor with the help of the GGC to get down to the mat. He is in immense amounts of pain. As soon as the match ends, out come referees. The point we knew it was real bad, potentially was real bad, and something might have been going on when Chase Del Monte came out. When Chase leaves running the show to come to ringside, it's a bad thing. Mm-hmm. They help get Danny back. The crowd, of course, shows him the appreciation he deserves. Big round of applause. Rich looks over at Chase, and Chase literally tells him 2-0. He holds up a finger 2 and a finger 0 to tell Rich that instead of a 15-minute intermission as usual, we're going to extend it to 20 minutes so we can have time to get Danny dealt with before I have to get back to getting ready to take care of the chaotic countdown, which will happen after the intermission. This match is just fantastic. Good to see the good guys come out on top. Apparently, according to Rich, it wasn't winners take all. It was whichever member of the GGC would have pinned whatever member of the unit, they would have won whichever respective championship that member of the unit held. That was the way the match was explained to us in there. It's bad because the month before, it seemed like we were getting winner take all 6 titles on the line. And all the titles were on the line, but in a slightly different way than we expected. Either way, the unit still remain champions. Trigger the OG gets the big win. And, it's good. We go out on a high for that before our intermission.
There we go. Yeah. Intermission. And then the big one was coming up after that. The Chaotic Countdown main event match. This is a Battle Royal, Royal Rumble, however you spell it. It is going to be fun because these matches are always fantastic. The only one it might not be fun for is the Chaotic champion Mortar, who has to defend his title against everybody in this matchup. Where would Mortar come out? Where would he land? Would he be able to go the distance? We're going to find out soon. And Brian, I hope you're listening in, my friend, because we got a little surprise for you when it comes to this matchup. You're going to find out very shortly. I'm going to read the list of who was in this matchup, and then I'm going to go first over to Pop Spokes. I want to hear some of your standout moments from this thing, some of the things that shocked you before we even go into what happened at the very end. And then we'll go to Ed on his thoughts as well, too. But here is the list of the participants. We have got, I hope I got everybody here. What do we got? Shannon Labanji, Aaron Rourke, Dustin Waller, Jose Zamora, Omar Lacasa, Godric, Calvin Newmont, Patrick Wheatman, DJ Powers, Cash McGinnis, Spike Nishimura, Livia, Arcturus, Jamari, Milo Mira, Gunnar Moody, Sister Selena, Noah McGuire, Brad Cashew, the Monarchy as a team, BMT and Ariel are king and queen as a team. And then, of course, after that, B3, Bam Bam, and Bear Bear are a team now as well, too, as one entry for both those tag teams. Rivera comes up next, Vaughn Vertigo, Seabass Finn, Cole Rutherford, Sean Vegan Keegan, Ricky Smokes, and Armani Chaos. I won't ruin all the fun of talking about all the big surprises that were in this thing. I'm going to go to you first, Papa Smokes, to run down some of the big things from this matchup.
One of the big surprises and best surprises for me in this match was seeing the number one contender coming out there, Shannon Levangie, back after 18-month hiatus. And Ed, you remember more than a year ago when you and I reviewed a couple of these chaotic shows. They were the first ones I had watched. Shannon Levangie was getting a huge push from the company. She had been the Panoptic champion for a time there, and then she might have won this exact Royal Rumble type event a couple of years ago. She was getting pushed to the very top of the card in the Chaotic Heavyweight Championship, and then disaster strikes, injury, serious injury, and she had to take a lot of time off. As the commentators reminded us, nobody was sure, including her, whether she was going to make it back into wrestling or not. So what a great moment for the fans here. Levangie comes out as the first person in the chaotic countdown, and much to the joy of the fans. Put in a great showing also. I like her a whole bunch. Excellent ladies wrestler.
Ed, standout moments from this thing for you?
I mean, how can you not talk about Shannon Levangie out for 14 months, double knee injury, relinquishing the New England Championship to go ahead and let other people do it while she recovers from her injury, coming back at number one, Aaron Rourke being in there at number two. Jose Zamora was fantastic in this. At one point, he has a YouTube short up talking about how he wanted to get everybody to collab with him, and he tried to get all four people in the ring to collab, and they all collaborate beating his ass down.
Yeah.
Of course, we had our New England Pro Wrestling Academy standouts. After the show last time we were here, I talked to Bobby and Papa Smokes, and I played the 5-minute, let's get to know the three standouts. And, man, they were great. Patrick Wheatman was over, man.
He came out, and I wanted to talk about this because he came out, and I'm just like, all right, we'll see. And then it didn't take long, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm with this crowd. Let's go, Wheatman. All of a sudden, like, he managed to really stand out.
Omar LaCasa. Omar LaCasa was really good. The Devil's Kiss a couple times. He's no Stephanie Vaquera, let's put it that way. But, it's fine. It's fine. Omar's good. I liked Omar. Cash McGinnis came out there. I mean, the douchebag that he is. He threw out Patrick. He threw out the Wheatman. Damn you, Cash McGinnis. Damn you.
That's a good way to make the crowd hate you right away is take the brand new guy that's getting over quick in the matchup and toss him straight out. It was a nice touch. I thought they did that perfectly with bringing in the Academy graduates, bringing them in slowly, having that video package so you kind of got to know their personalities. So if you watched it, they come out, you're a little introduced to them, and they're like, okay, let's see what you got out there. And all of them stood out very, very well. We had Cole Rutherford get our first look at him. We mentioned that earlier in the night. I mean, that guy he's a physical specimen, crisp in the ring. He's got some skill behind him. I definitely am interested in seeing Cole Rutherford once he gets into singles competition as well, too.
Or tag competition with
or that, yeah. Demond as a double champion. Can you imagine?
No. I didn't say champion. I said tag team action. We're going to get rid of Munson again because who needs that? No, one of the other things I wanted to talk about was some of the new faces, even to me. Guy watching the indies. Vaughn Vertigo. Von Vertigo stood out leaps and bounds for me. It's a name I've heard around this area, but he doesn't typically come this far up the area. He typically stays in that New Jersey, New York area. It was fun to see him in this. We've seen Dustin Waller a few times. He's really interesting. But the one that really got me, and the one that I went back and I looked at, and I've been following him on social media and doing a little bit of a deeper dive through his thing. We haven't mentioned him yet, but we're going to get there. The Mecca. The Mecca is just like, that's the epitome of early 2000s, like, independent wrestler. Like, that's what I see when I see him. I'm like, this is throwback Ring of Honor. This is TNA. Like, this is a guy who gives himself a nickname, has a body, and can work, and works so good. And
he was mean too. He was nasty.
Yeah.
He was a nasty little son of a bitch. But Ryan Johnson, the Mecca, he's done work for TNA. He literally this week, just this Tuesday, he had a match come out for TNA wrestling the number one contender for the X Division Championship, Leon Slater. So, like, he's in demand. He's still working very well, and obviously at a really relatively high level. I mean, it's only Explosion. It's not like TNA television, but it's still working with a guy who's in a program with a champion. So that's a good showcase match to get for yourself if you're an enhancement talent, or as we call them here, our local enhancement talents. I loved everything about the Mecca. He was my star, with the obvious exception of Shannon Levangie going 50+ minutes in this match on her first match back, and she goes 50 minutes from start to essentially finish in this match. And this final four of one good guy and 3 douchebags.
Yeah. You can't tell me they aren't lining her up for something big around the corner for sure. But there is another, before we even get to the big surprise, we also got to talk about the massive turn in this particular matchup as well, too, because time and time again, as they've told us, or you've seen if you followed, is CFAS Finn getting saved by Sean Keegan Vegan, doing it again on the shoulders, saves him. Can't be eliminated, right? His feet haven't touched the mat. That didn't last long. We suddenly get a very devastating turn right then, right there. Seabass Finn getting the absolute daylights beaten out of him by his tag team partner. A story is unfolding here between these two, and good God, it's about to get ugly.
Yeah, Keegan went in like he was ruthless. Like, I was watching and I'm like, ooh, my pearls, good God, Mr. Keegan. Like, I think of Sean Vegan Keegan as a bit of a comedy guy for me. Like, I think Seabass Finn has a lot of potential. I think Seabass Finn is really great. Sean Vegan Keegan is kind of a bit of a, he's there, but man,
maybe not no more.
No, he is no sidekick anymore. He indeed took it to in a dastardly way. Sean Vegan took him out, and good for him for standing his ground. Let's see where this goes for him. Yeah, Sean Vegan Keegan definitely indeed has a name.
Yep, he sure does. But yeah, what did you think of this turn, Papa Smokes?
Oh, this ended up being one of the big stories of the entire main event match, because Mortar ended up retaining his title in this, so there's no real story there. There's no new champion or anything. But in this match, we see the popular babyface nautical-based tag team of Catch and Release that the fans like, the fans have gotten behind. We've seen a couple of little cracks in their whole thing, but that attack was entirely vicious. All of it on the outside of the ring. It went on and on and on. So you knew that they wanted to make a strong point with this, that we're going forward with this breakup story, and these two are going to feud all for the rest of the summer and probably throughout the fall too, till they get to some kind of a climactic gimmick match, perhaps. But that really sets it up too. And then we also had a big angle working at the very end there too, and that was highly, highly interesting to me as well.
It was. So, yes, we teased it a little bit. Brian, hopefully you're still listening because you asked about a certain somebody. Well, Mortar, during his celebration as retaining the championship on this very night, we then had the lights go out and there was a voice that came onto the screen. When we returned back, Mortar had been taken out by a masked assailant. And I'm thinking to myself right then and there, and I said it to Papa Smokes, I somehow believe that looks like it's going to be Richard Holiday that's about to unmask. And sure enough, and I don't care that I ruined it for myself because anytime Richard Holiday is on screen, it's a good old time. Mortar's in some trouble. That very flashy mustache of Mr. Richard Holiday on display as he took out the champion. And I could only imagine a match between these two not too far off, and a lot of bad blood between these two as well. Ed, you can attest to some of that and let us know about the bad blood between Mortar and Richard Holiday.
I mean, these guys have been feuding for the better part of a year and a half. Richard Holiday is a jackass who doesn't know when to get out of his own way. He apparently is no longer working with GCW, which means he's going to be more readily available for independent wrestling promotions. I know based on his social media, he was at a BJJ dojo trying to learn how to take out Matt Riddle. And he was learning how to take on Matt Riddle, and he watched an entire class of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And then he decided he was going to use his signature move, the low blow.
It's effective.
It is indeed effective. It is indeed how he rolls. And for better or worse, in sickness and in health, it is always the way that man rolls. And it is what it is. I'm more than happy not to see Richard Holiday anymore on my television screen or live in person. I could do with less Richard Holiday, and it would be better for me. I do, however, I'm trying to find it.
Ed clearly is not down with the big baller Richard Holiday, but Papa Smokes, did you enjoy the reveal there?
So much. And anybody that watches this podcast knows from our MLW days that Richard Holiday's a great favorite of mine. Such a skilled worker, such an excellent microphone talker, and a guy that right now has got to be one of the top free agents going around the independent scene. I mean, along with guys like Matt Cardona and Mance Warner and some of those dudes that travel the entire North American continent and make a lot of money doing it. There's not too many guys on the indies that have that kind of a resume or that kind of pull. So Holiday pretty much goes where he wants to, when he wants to, and he walks around with that kind of swag and that kind of attitude. And Munson, like you said, as soon as I saw the unveiling of that luscious, magnificent mustache, I popped hard because Richard Holiday coming into your area is going to bring some heat and going to bring some fans that want to see him get his ass kicked and his mouth shut.
We do indeed want to see that. That is not something I can disagree with the Papa. I do, though, Munson. I have something on you with this.
Excuse me.
Because I have this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful.
A photo.
A pre-mustached Richard Holiday from my return to the independent wrestling scene, where I got to meet Richard Holiday.
That's
also
item.
For STG, this is the Vegan Keegan right here. Because I don't know if STG's watched or not, so I wanted to go ahead and show him what Sean Vegan Keegan looks like.
STG's going on a deep dive on Sean Vegan Keegan after Ring Respect's all said and done. But Gentlemen, as we are near the top of the hour now here, nearing the end of Ring Respect Radio, I think it's about time we wrap things up. So we're going to start with Ed, who's going to let us know where we can find him, what he's got coming up.
I mean, you can always find me down here, Twitter and Blue Skies, @Fries12584, twitch.tv/EdFries2002. Every Monday, you can catch me and Munson in the War Room. Me and Munson are battling it out in 2K25 to see which of us is the better GM. The guy who works for the independent wrestling promotion or the guy who goes to the independent wrestling promotions. So we'll see how that goes. As of this week, I'm back on top, Munson. I used that power card to get myself back on top of the charts, taking it away from you and that dastardly Eric Bischoff. But will I hold on to it? Will I be able to hold on to the number one shot? Who knows? Every Tuesday, you can also catch me with Ashton Bizarro as we talk all things NXT. Thank you, Bastard. We greatly appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. You can catch us for taking over every Tuesday night, as I said on the show this week. With some technical issues aside, I did acquire my tickets, so I will be at Heatwave for NXT this upcoming August. So in a couple of months, in just over a month, I will be there one more time in the Lowell Memorial Auditorium, hopefully seeing my wonderful boy Obafemi defending his NXT championship. All kinds of great action. Very excited. Should have had front row seats, but unfortunately, NXT screwed me like Munson screwed me in the trivia challenge. So I have to unfortunately take fourth row seats. But it is what it is. And then, of course, we just did the Superman review last night on DC Talk. But you can catch us on Marvel Talk not this weekend, but next weekend, as we go ahead and talk all things Fantastic Four. It's finally here. The first family of Marvel is finally back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We're very excited for that. We've got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. Eyes of Wakanda is coming up in August. We've got the MCU rebounds coming up. We're going to do a couple more DC talks now that we've got Peacemaker Season 2 coming up. Whole bunch of stuff that we're trying to do to help continue talking about comic-adjacent things. As we told our host last night, we can't call ourselves a comic channel because the comic fans will get on us because we don't read the comic books as much as we should. We don't read the source material. But you can catch me in all those wonderful places.
Well, as Ed takes his first steps towards reviewing all those wonderful things for you, we're going to go over to Papa Smokes, who's going to cost me a lot of money with that beautiful ticker, and tell you where you can find him and what he's got coming up.
Better believe it, Munson. I can always be found on Thursday nights here on Ring Respect Radio, both on Ole Podcasts and on Video Bros Network. I can also be found on social media at Elon Musk's Free Speech Wonderland, known as X. I am at Smokes_Papa. And on Twitch, I am Papa_Smokes_.
That's where you can find Papa Smokes. As for myself, Bobby Munson, I'm pretty much across all the socials. Real Bobby Munson on the X, Instagram, Threads, Video Bros SK, Blue Sky, it's Bobby Munson. I do have Twitch, it's Video Bro _Bobby Munson. But what do we got coming up? I've got, like Ed said, we got the War Room coming up, and yes, you can play power cards on video games, not so much on the indie scene where Papa Smokes and I bring you Prairie Pro Wrestling, that you can catch a new match with us every Saturday at the Prairie Pro Wrestling YouTube channel. You can also catch me on a few various things, including my show, my short videos of 30 years ago, Does It Still Rock, reviewing albums from 30 years ago in the past. And of course, this Sunday, Point of View, we're going to be talking all things in the world of sports, 11 a.m. Eastern time. And yes, thank you to everybody who supported last week's Point of View, one of our most watched and most viewed overall shows, with us talking about how the game of footy, aka soccer, is played. So thank you for the support. All these wonderful things found across OL League Podcast. You can find that ticker down below for all our socials, as well as YouTube and Twitch. Make sure, if you like what you see here, or you like to support anything in the world of pop culture, give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and click the subscribe button down below and turn on that notification bell, and leave us a comment. Comments help us out, and we love getting back to those comments as well too. Love chatting with you, the wonderful people that support us. But we're going to leave you with what's left on the calendar for this week. Take care. We'll see you next Thursday.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Fools are calling and I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. Hey!